Au mau, au mau, au mau sogbolisa, mau sogbolisa, mau sogbolisa, adanu woto, asikle afo, adanu woto, asikle afo. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the heathen, nor sitteth in the seat that is scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. And in this Lord I say, I dictate sunrise and sundown. Him I go there like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth fat fruit in his season. Him live never I go wither, and whatsoever him doeth shall prosper. Yay! The heathen them now they saw them there like a chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the heathen them never go turn upon judgment, not the sin among them in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord God Jah love the way of the righteous and the way of the sin among them always and always. I go perish. Let the people of the Most High God go down on their knees and say, Jah. Kramawe grumabea tela exag beer tanaistalin abashante shante tete tela where two and three meet in the name of the Most High God. And that's so Jaja de. If Jaja never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain same way. If Jaja never watch upon them same house when built for you, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is safe. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High Jah shall therein abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And I give thanks, and I give thanks, and I give thanks. Oh Mau, au Mau, au Mau sogbolisa adanuoto asikle afo. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk RASTA. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot. And each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something sumptuous cooking. My brother, my sister. Now, the black pot is so symbolic of Africa. It represents the continent of Africa, and the ingredients in the black pot, no matter the colors, no matter the sizes, no matter the smells, and the flavors and the aromas, all come together to be subjected to some sacrifice, which is called heat, to produce food. We all must take this example and this inspiration. It doesn't matter the sizes and the colors that we portray. It doesn't even matter our skin texture. It doesn't even matter the shades of color that we have. All that matters is that we come together on the same continent of Africa to produce development for our people, our continent, our land, and the next generation. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunemo, where we speak truth to power. And my brother, my sister, in this segment, we normally would not criticize, but if we must criticize, we'd only just criticize to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunemo, where we speak truth to power. Our numbers are rolling on the screen. Pick up our numbers, call us, do business with us. The more the black businesses grow, the more we grow. Give us that financial muscle to be able to rewire the thinking, the mindset of our people. The biggest problem of Africa is not a problem of schools and roads and hospitals. It's the mindset. Here we don't do politics. What we do is called patriotism. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo. Pick up our number, send us a simple WhatsApp message, or just give us a WhatsApp message. Tell us what business you are into. Let's think about how we can push your business. We have all the aces up our sleeves. We will let your business work. We are seen all over the continent of Africa via the power of satellite and social media all across the world. We are live on Pan-African TV, and we are masters of Pan-Africanism on TV. This is the show you've been waiting for. It's called The Blakk Pot, aka Kuku Shonomo. First story. Watch it roll. And what does it say? It says Aisha Huang sacks lawyer. Aisha Huang sacks lawyer. Who is the lawyer of Aisha Huang? Oh, Ifadate. He used to be in the army. He excused himself from the army. And now he's a lawyer. Remember, this was the same guy who told us a few weeks back that he is into law to be able to eat. That is his profession. He needs to feed his wife. He needs to feed his children. And he needs to feed himself. According to him, if you do not want him to defend Aisha Huang, who everybody or the majority of people see in Ghana as the queen of Galamsey, destroying the water bodies and meting out heinous crimes to the people of this country. My brother, my sister, we have heard about Aisha Huang. There was a documentary done by Joy. And Joy said what? That some people alleged that Aisha Huang even shot somebody at the Galamsey site. She was the queen of Galamsey, took over the business of illegal mining. Any Chinese person who came into this country and wanted to do this so-called Galamsey business would have to pass through her. She became so powerful. In fact, she was able to bring prostitutes from China, as alleged by Kweku Baku. And she unleashed these prostitutes on some political bigwigs, recorded them on tape. And anytime this big complained about her Galamsey or illegal mining activities in Ghana, she threatened to release the tapes. She got so powerful that politicians couldn't touch her. But everything that has a beginning has an end. She was arrested several times in the regime of John Dramani Mahama, and she was freed. In this regime, she was arrested again. And all the chief advisor of the president could say was that if we jail her, it will not bring us any money. It will not help our economy thrive. It's all about the economy. And they shipped her back to China with no punishment. The disrespectful Aisha Huang, a.k.a. Huang that she returned from China. But the president even doubted if she was shipped back to China at all. The president did not even know the whereabouts of this lady. Yet his chief advisor told us that she was shipped back to China. She returned, engaging in the same old Galamsey again. And when she was arrested this time, they decided to take her to court. And her lawyer was Ifa Date. And when Ghanaians got angry and asked Ifa Date, hey, why would you go and defend such a dangerous criminal? A woman who has no respect for our water bodies and our environment. He said, well, you know this is my profession. If I don't do this, I won't eat. You know that I'm doing it because I have to eat. I'm doing it because I have to feed my wife and children. And many people ask, is it all about food? Is it all about your stomach? Ifa Date was not able to tell us that, listen, as a lawyer, my profession says I should never refuse to defend anybody. So I am only following the tenets of my profession. Even if he had said that, we would have questioned that profession to say, even if I know for sure that this is a very dangerous criminal, should I still go ahead and defend this person because my profession says I should defend just everybody? My brother, my sister, we went into prayer. We went down on our knees and prayed. In fact, and today, Aisha Huang has sacked Nkrabia Ifa Date. Watch it. Aisha Huang sacks Nkrabia Ifa Date as her lawyer. And he seems to be asking, why? What have I done? What would I eat now? Come! You want to eat. Is it all about eating? Watch it. What does it say? After representing the Chinese national for 5 years, Captain Nkrabia Ifadate, retired, has been sacked by his client Aisha Huang, aka Huang En, the embattled illegal small-scale mining galamsey kingpin. I like that. I want to take it again. Come back to that. The embattled illegal small-scale mining galamsey kingpin is a mouthful. She has since replaced him with 2 new lawyers in the persons of Miracle Atachi and Hope Aguado. This was made known by the presiding judge, Lydia Osei-Mafo. It is unclear what may have necessitated this new development. Nkrabia Ifadate, a former New Patriotic Party MP, has been legal counsel for the controversial Chinese national since 2018, representing her both at the circuit and high court since Aisha Huang's first galamsey prosecutions that were eventually discontinued by the state started. Lawyer Ifadate also represented Aisha Huang on the new charges bordering on illegal mining and illegal entry into the country, both of which cases are running concurrently at the circuit and high courts. The lawyer has already cross-examined the first and second prosecution witnesses and was scheduled to cross-examine the third witness on Monday until the presiding judge made known to the court that new lawyers have taken over the case. Aisha Huang returns to court on December 14, 2022. Dash it away. Ifadate told us that, listen, I am in court defending Aisha Huang because I have to eat. For me, that is how a man can stoop so lowly. That's what I think. Now, my brother, my sister, let's look at what he said next. He said, if you do not want me to defend Aisha Huang, tell the president of Ghana to give me a ministerial position. If I have a ministerial position, then I am assured that there would be a salary so I can eat and my family would eat as well. So you look at it and it looks like the key thing there is not about justice, it's about eating. If you give me a ministerial position and you can pay me and I can eat and my children can eat, my wife can eat, I am okay. But my brother, I think that we need to go beyond just eating. We have to look at the nation. We have to look deep into the next generation. If we destroy our water bodies, now our water is full of fecal matter. All because of this dirty galamsey. Right now we are hearing that terrorists are being attracted to these areas where they can quickly do illegal mining, make money and go and fuel and fund their terrorism business. My brother, my sister, we'll be doing ourselves more harm than good. It is sad for any man to say, because I have to eat, I must sell out. Because I have to eat, I have no virtues anymore. Now I look at the law profession and sometimes I cringe. It says that do not ever refuse to defend anybody. So if the person I know has a terrible record, this person is a bad person, how do I defend the person? Should I still go ahead? Should I go to the court and tell the lawyer that, well, should I tell the court that this person I know is a thief in the area? He's stolen A, B, C, D, E, F. But because my profession says I should never say I will not defend anybody, I have come to present him to you so you can jail him. No. It says defend. Should you defend the truth, or you can also defend a lie? I want lawyers to explain this. I'm yet to see one lawyer in Ghana accept a certain case and go to the court and say, hey, this case that I've taken, under normal circumstances, I wouldn't have taken it. but my profession says I should take it. I have investigated this on my own, and I have evidence that this person that I'm defending is a dangerous criminal. I have come to make the work of the court easy. There are documents here. My Lord, please, could you jail this person that I have brought here? Give him the maximum sentence. That's my plea. Have we seen that before? So it makes the law profession not even attractive to some of us unless we do not understand it well. It's all about defending. So the populace, the people, the ordinary people out there see lawyers as people who are there to defend the lie. The more money you have and you can afford a smart lawyer, he can turn the whole lie into the truth so that you walk. Especially that we live in a country where lawyers are taking goats to free hardened criminals. I don't want to go deep into this. But congratulations to Aisha Huang. You have sacked one of the people that I wasn't comfortable with. Especially when he made those utterances. Oh, I have to eat. My wife has to eat. My family has to eat. You know, food is important. And I'm defending her because of food. If you don't want me to defend her, tell the president to give me a ministerial position. And then when I'm being paid and I can eat, then I will not defend her. Wow. The priority is no more on justice. It's on. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. Next thing. What is good for the goose? Complete it. Come. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. Hi! We live in a country that is so rotten. We don't hate theft. What we hate is that the thief must make us benefit from the stealing. If we get it, then we are okay. If the thief is our thief, it's okay. Hi, listen. When a thief runs out of the zongo and he goes to steal and they are chasing him, you know where he goes? Back to the zongo. They will protect him because he's their thief. When the politician steals and he's being chased, you know where he goes? He runs to politicians. They will shield him. It's like a game of chess. It's your turn to steal now. When it comes to our turn to steal, you would also protect us, and the people become the sacrifice. Everybody seems to have somebody that they protect when those people are involved in evilous activities, true or false. This is a gentleman that I know and I love. His name is Fredima. He's produced a lot of music for people in the past and even at present. Hey, he produced my very first album. In fact, we recorded it in his studio. It might not have been produced by him. It was produced by RASTA, who is a reverend minister in Paris right now, France. But we recorded it in his studio, pre-production, before we took it all the way to Sid Studios in Jowlo. I remember in 1999, Fredima trained great people who have come out to become great sound engineers, including the great JQ, and even Apietus, and some other such people. Kiki Jan used to spend time with him in his studio. I remember this studio very well. Fredima has produced music for a lot of Northern stars. There was a time every Northern artist wanted to come to Fredima. Unfortunately, there was a storm that came. Remember that rain that took over the whole of Circle? In fact, his studio was at Circle. Yes, it wiped up everything. Obinim took him up into his church, and then for a reason, he was fired from there. In fact, sacked. Fredima has never been able to find his feet from that time. He has a son who also performed in a certain advert, Piccadilly Biscuit. That big guy, remember that big guy eating the biscuits in that advert in those days? That's his son. But look at the sad story. Today in history, Kwesi Abuaji disrespectfully sacked me from Peace FM, Fredima. I read, on November 22, 2021, renowned sound engineer and music producer Fredima was reported to have expressed utmost displeasure about a treatment meted out to him by Kwesi Aboagye. Come! Explaining the unfair treatment from Kwesi Aboagye, he said, I was a panelist on the show at the time when Owusu Bempah made certain statements about Ghanaian celebrities. And as we were analyzing his statement, I said, Owusu Bempah is my family member and that I will speak to him after the show. After the show, the presenter called me disrespectfully with his left hand that I should come. I shouldn't come for the show again. After 14 solid years on the show and considering my sacrifice, my BP shot high because I realized I have wasted 14 years. Music producer Fredima has recounted how he was disrespectfully dismissed as a regular panelist on Peace FM entertainment show. Kwesi Aboagye was the brain behind his dismissal from the local radio station, Fredima has disclosed. Speaking in an interview on Legends on TV XYZ, he told host Ajimain Prempe that he nearly suffered a heart attack with news of his sacking over a mere misunderstanding. The show belongs to the host. It is his program, and he has the right to sack me. But how he sacked me is the problem because it was very disrespectful. Come! My brother, my sister, hear this. There are panelists on the show. If you don't have an opinion, I don't have an opinion. I do not want to comment on this. Should be enough. In America, they might just say, I plead the 5th. Or is it the 7th or the 8th? If you know that what you're going to say might land you into some legal issues, you plead the 5th. Or is it the 6th or the 7th? How do the Americans say it? But when you go ahead, Fredima, with all respect, to say this is my family member, and for that matter, I do not want to comment, it's unprofessional. I love you, sir. You produced my very first album. You recorded it. I've been going around the world. I've been going around the world. I've never seen a place as nice as Africa. Welcome, 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 come to Africa. Welcome, everyone. You remember, in 2000 and my brother, my sister, I look at Fredima, and this is a man who deserves more. He has achieved a lot in the industry, done a lot for the industry. 1999 was when I walked into Fredima's studio and we recorded. When Fredima remembered this on the same show he's talking about, Entertainment Review on Peace FM. In fact, the very day they started, I was one of those that they interviewed. Then so many people had never seen such a controversial human being. They had never seen such energy. We brought on the heat. And I was interviewed and I laid it bare on phone. I remember Fredima was one of those who commented. When my Obama song came out, he also talked about it and how he worked with me. From 1999, he has a very sharp memory. But Uncle Fredima, if it's other people's families, you can easily talk about that. Draw blanket statements that might hurt people's careers. Because I do know that Fredima said some things about me on radio. And later I called him and said, Fredima, this is what I heard you say about me in those days. And he apologized. He's a gentleman. It is most unprofessional, very unprofessional, to say this is my family member, so I will not comment. You want to comment on other people's families and family members? That is biasedness. Should I say it again? Biasedness. That is most unprofessional, and that is injustice. The same injustice is happening. Watch this. This is Shatawale. This is his baby mother. They call her Michi. She's quite pretty. Some people said she went for a boobs job because Ghanaians started trolling her about her boobs, and she quickly went for some injections and some other things. Right now, people body shame people in Ghana. And they have found some surgeons left, right, and center who can pump some part of their bodies for them to look presentable. It's sad. Look at what happened to Spice in Jamaica. After pumping her body and all that, she almost died. Now she's talking Jesus, Jesus, after stripping naked on stage and doing all those nude things on stage. She almost died. And then she has found Jesus. Why do we wait and do all these things that are so untoward? Follow the crowd, play to the gallery, and then we start doing things. Watch this. It says, Michi confronts GH Hyper for refusing to post Mona for Real's alleged scandal. Michi, the ex-fiancé of dancehall artist Shatawale, has confronted Mona for Real's official blogger for failing to post, and the word there is official blogger, for failing to post the latest scandal, but has done so to other celebrities in the past. She met a blogger identified as GH Hyper face to face at an event where she called him out for being biased. She said, "Come! Come!" And when he came, it can be recalled that shortly after the news of Mona for Real's arrest over an alleged $8 million fraud went rife on social media, GH Hyper took to Snapchat to lambast Ghanaians for spreading what he described as fake news. This is what you haters should be promoting instead. You choose to celebrate fake news. Ghana, let's love our own regardless. That pull him down PhD attitude in Ghana is becoming too much. You see a person rising, then you guys develop serious hate for the person. He earlier wrote, aside his rants on social media, the blogger till date hasn't confirmed or denied the news. And this has drawn concerns from individuals who are expecting a confirmation of some sort from him. But reacting to this, Michi, who chanced on GH Hyper on the red carpet of the rhythms on the runway held in Accra, did not mince words when she came face to face with him. He said it. And your boss's issue has come out, and you are not talking about it. My brother, my sister, until this hypocrisy stops, he's my family member, so I won't talk. But you are so vocal when it comes to other people's families. I do understand the link DNA-wise, emotion-wise. You might not be able to hit as hard as if it was somebody. They say blood is thicker than water. But do your best to be as real and as clean as possible. That's when you can call that justice. My brother, my sister, all these bloggers, if you are in their good books, maybe you give them some local fuel left, right, and center. Hey, they will see you involved in rape. They will never report it. Why should they? They will not. After all, you feed them. It's the same thing I started with. If he's our thief and he makes us eat, we will close all eyes to all his theft. But if it's another person's thief, we will talk about that and chase him. As long as it's not our thief, we will hunt him down. But if he is our thief, oh, that's okay. So we don't actually hate theft. What we hate is that it must be somebody else's thief stealing everything. Then we hate that. When is the country going to grow? You sit down and you talk about Nana Akufo-Addo, and he's this and he's that, Mahama this, Mahama that, and you talk all day. And now that YouTube is paying you to talk and misbehave, TikTok's biggest market is Africa. Meanwhile, in China, TikTok is not going anywhere. School children are asked to go and invent. They are asked to go and do productive things. But they have unleashed it on Africans who raise one leg here, shake their buttocks, inject their buttocks to get big. They are shaking it. Hey, Hajia this, King this, that this. Everybody is shaking. And then YouTube is paying them because people are watching them shake. Meanwhile, when you go to China, they are experimenting with how to build a propeller of a plane. Go to China and see if you see buttocks on TikTok. Go to China. Come. Go to China and see if you see buttocks. Go to China and see if you see nakedness on TikTok. We are the dirty people, so they have thrown it on us. Whatever we will do, stomach tucking, they cut off some fat, endanger our lives, all because of likes and clicks. What kind of a people are we? Nobody is ready to speak the truth. Everybody is protecting their teeth. That was one thing I liked about Francis Doku. And I told him several times, when he was doing writing, that the watching and listening, he was blank. I mean blunt. Whether he knew you or not, he will write the truth. Of course, he had people who were close to him who also fell in trouble. He would write what he knew. He might not have the hardest sponge, but it will not lose the content. The writing. To God be the glory. When we return, we shall talk some more. I have a quote for you, and this quote is about fairness. Can we be fair? Does it matter whose blogger you are? Does it matter which nation you belong to or movement you belong to? If the music is good, follow it. That's killing us. Sectionalism. Cronyism. Can't you see it's killing us? Can you not see that it's killing us? It is killing us. Sensationalism. Until we look at the talent, or better still, let's look at this Moroccan proverb. Unless we look at the message and not necessarily the messenger, we will all go to hell. Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot. Coco show.
This is the black pot. This is it. The black pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. Next thing. What does it say? Watch it. Budget bound for the cooler. It looks like this year's budget, as against next year, will be frozen. As for this man, he will go down in history as the most arrogant man who claims he wants to serve the people. The people said, no, it's enough. You are incompetent, just go. He said, no, whether you want me or not, I will play. I remember an artist, now he's deceased. Kwame B knows this artist, and some other people were in Takrade at that time. Come, follow me. He came on stage, and he was performing at Sky several years back. And he asked the people, do you want more? People said, no, we don't want more. Do you really want more? He said, no, we don't want. Away, please. He got angry. He packed his guitar, went backstage. On his way backstage, he returned and picked the mic. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to give you more. More. And he started playing again. In fact, I will never forget this thing. When you meet Kwame B, ask him. He will tell you which artist did this. He's now evaporated. He was a great artist, wonderful artist. I love him. In fact, I worked with him. But there are some places you go to and the people are not ready for you. It doesn't mean that you're a bad artist. Just move. Kennedy. What's his name? Is it Kennedy? Kennedy Oforiatta. Is that his name? Kennedy. Ken. So Ken is the short form of what? Kennedy, right? So Ken Oforiatta is that artist, bad artist. You will come on stage. And once you are on stage, come. You are asking the people if they want more. They say they don't want more. You say whether you like it or not, you want more, I'll give you more. Watch this. Ken Oforiatta is a strong man. I like his composure. But, and this is Professor Joseph Osafo. Who is he? Head of psychology at the University of Ghana. So he's the head of psychology. So if he's talking, it means he's already gone into the brains of this guy. And he's saying that he's a strong guy. We will find out. Head of psychology at the University of Ghana, Professor Joseph Osafo, has hailed the Minister of Finance for his composure at the face of opposition. The Minister of Finance, Ken Oforiatta, is currently facing a vote of censure by the minority in Parliament as they have leveled series of allegations against him and are calling for his removal. Open this up so I can read it clearer. The majority in Parliament are also in sync with the call for the removal of the minister. Did you see that? The majority in Parliament, not only the minority, the majority in Parliament are also in sync with the call for the removal of the minister and petition the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who in response has appealed to them to allow him conclude Ghana's deal with the International Monetary Fund before a decision is made on their. This is the dumbest thing any leader could do. The people don't want the guy. I've given this example several times. It's like this World Cup. Ghana is playing against Uruguay. That's the country that we play. That's where Suarez is, right? Uruguay. Now we have a penalty. We are going to revenge. All of a sudden, the player who's not been playing well, everybody wants him out. Hey, we don't want. Coach turns to the people and says, we just had a penalty. Let him just kick the penalty. After that, he can leave. How will the people take this message? This is one of the most important economic decisions. And you want the lousy guy that nobody wants to conclude it? Are you serious? What kind of logic is this? Who is the advisor of the president? The people don't want him. Majority people in Parliament, the caucus says, hey, we don't want him. Your own people say, oh, just allow him to go because he's used juju on my head. Now I can't think far. Such nonsense. It's so sad. When you vote old men into power, this is what they do. Proper old men wouldn't do this. However, the minister on Friday, November 18, 2022, appeared before an ad hoc parliamentary committee probing the censure motion against him and was besieged with a barrage of questions bordering on conflict of interest and abuse of office. Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta provided justifications for the things he has been accused of, particularly with accusation that he has taken monies from the consolidated fund to finance the construction of the National Cathedral. Answering questions on the constitutionality. Leave all that. I want to hear what the prof said. So the prof, I'm going to look at the last one. I get quite nervous about the level of passion on the construction of the cathedral. Well, this is still Ken talking. Go on. Well, that's it. Tackling the matter during Peace FM's, I almost said Kuchoko morning show. Well, maybe they should change the name to Kuchoko morning show. Yes, tackling the matter during Peace FM's Kuchoko morning show. Well, Kokroko morning show. Professor Joseph Osafo was amazed at the mental strength that the finance minister has exhibited despite the incessant calls for him to resign or be dismissed, plus the minority's censure motion to validate his removal. Speaking to host Nana Yaokesi, he described the minister as a strong man. I see him to be very strong. He is a strong man. One thing he has that delights me is that he's a man of composure. Nonetheless, Professor Osafo advised Mr. Ofori-Atta to resign in the interest of Ghana and his political party, New Patriotic Party, stating it will show statesmanship. This is the man. He's called Professor Joseph Osafo. I love what he said. It's like when a little child has to take a bitter pill, then you give them toffee. When they suck it and they like it, say, take this one. When you finish, then we'll give you toffee again. He has something hard and bitter to tell the finance minister. But he doesn't want to go really hard. He's a psychologist. So he will defer him. And then he will release the sledgehammer. Bah! Hey. Ken Ofori-Atta is not a strong man. He's an arrogant man. There's a difference between strength and arrogance. We have people who are weak, but they are very arrogant. If you're not careful, you will mistake their arrogance to be strength. When I was growing up, we used to call such people papti. But one day papti, kai suna yam papti. Papti, hu kwa. In Kumasi, you're from Furukwa. Furukwa, just a hu kwa. At Amadiya Secondary School, we were Furukwa. In Takrade, your friend one kettle, share and nikitunium. A busma kettle. That's the finance minister, arrogant for nothing. Or a kettle. Share and nikitunium. There's nothing in the stomach of the lizard. A busma kettle or a chameleon. Or a who kwa. But the man has spoken. What is he saying? He says, hey, in the interest of statesmanship and your party, move out. And I hear Canada, Japan. Oh Lord. Also, he just came out today. What did he say? He said, oh, be patriotic. Please support the president. Be loyal to the president. Go for the budget. Listen to the budget. Support the finance. I'm like, Jesus have mercy. Oh, now you want to be president, so you will support this rot. This was the same guy who said he was bringing e-levy. And that e-levy, which was so much unpopular, he swore to his party that the introduction of e-levy will stop the nation from going to the IMF. My brother, my sister, will change the economy. Look at the gymnastics and jingoisms that went with the e-levy. They flew Ajua Sarah, or what's her name? Ajua Safo Sarah. They resurrected Kennedy Japan from his surgeon's table. And the other guy, he brought him from Canada, brought him into the country to vote for e-levy. Look what happened in the Parliament House that day. Because of e-levy, the whole nation was on fire. After going through all these, e-levy couldn't save us. That e-levy failed. And for that matter, we were still going to the IMF. Why should this man stay? After inflicting so much pain with the dirty e-levy, he still has a mouth to talk that he is a competent guy. What a joker. And you come and tell me that's a strong man. This is an arrogant, inefficacious, inefficient, spineless minister. Look at his face, so innocent, and now he has a dilated pupil, all because of, let me not go too much into his health records. We all can go through that. I'm just looking at him as an arrogant man who should have gone out, but he's not going out. But watch me. Oforiatta are likely to face empty parliament on budget day. Hey, look at it. I didn't write this. Hey, I saw a preacher man say, Ada, your friend me John. The whole bus, it was a trotro. There be a friend John. Your friend me Matthew. There be a friend me Martin. Ada, and I, your friend me Nebuchadnezzar. See, David, me na me throw Bible no. Me na me throw. That's it. Ghana Web has gathered that Ken Oforiatta, the embattled finance minister, will be meeting an empty house. In fact, he'll be meeting a cooler. The air conditions will be on. And because there will not be people in there, it will chill. And he will go into it and read to ghosts that they have been paying at the catapult. The ghosts on the payroll, they will read the budget to them. Look at it. Look at it. Ghana Web has gathered that Ken Oforiatta, the embattled finance minister, will be meeting an empty parliament when he appears on November 24 to read the 2023 budget statement. Why? According to sources, both majority and minority MPs are likely not to be present on the day of the budget presentation, which will make it impossible for the minister to present the budget to the House because there will be a lack of quorum as required by the Constitution. This is what Kennedy Japan says, oh, don't do that, you have to be there because he wants to be president. I will not vote for you. Ken Oforiatta had already indicated that he was going to present his budget despite some NPP MPs and the majority MPs wanting him out of office. You see the arrogance? This is not strength. Better still is foolhardiness, Dutch courage. But Kwesi Pratt has something to say. How did Kweku Baku come in there? Okay, bring back the photo of Kweku Baku since you want to talk about Kweku Baku. This is Kweku Baku. He's a good friend of Kwesi Pratt. So one may ask, who is Kwesi Pratt? So this is Kweku Pratt coming up next. You know, somebody went to write an examination and then he had studied so much about the Agama lizard. You know Agama lizard? The one that comes in the sun and it goes boom, 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 like that. That one. Hey, that animal has suffered. Eh? Another time I'll tell you a story. He studied about the Agama lizard. When he went, oh my God, they rather asked him about the dragonfly. Jesus. He knew that the dragonfly was a fly. Like a butterfly, but not a butterfly. And what did he say? Yes, the dragonfly is a fly. It has wings like a bird, but it's not a bird. It has a tail, but it's not a tail. And it flies. Sometimes it goes like this. Other times it goes like this. Like that thing called helicopter, but it's not a helicopter. And sometimes the agama lizard likes to eat it as its food. In fact, it is like fufu to the Ashanti, the dragonfly to the agama lizard. So one may ask, what is the agama lizard? The agama lizard is a lizard. And he wrote 70 pages. So Kweku Baako is a journalist, powerful journalist. He is. He's Anas's boss. Together they released the powerful Galamsey economy. Remember number 12. And he's a friend to Kwesi Pratt. So one may ask, why do we have Kwesi Pratt here? Watch it. F.K. Bua Memorial Lectures. Most of Ghana's current economic woes. Direct result of imperialist meddling. Kwesi Pratt, managing editor of the Inside newspaper, Kwesi Pratt Jr., has lamented over the fact that African leaders, including President Akufo-Addo, seem to be moving away from the dreams of the independence movement. Kwesi Pratt, who was addressing the first F.K. Bua Memorial Lectures held at Tema Senior High School over the weekend, was of the conviction that if the current trend continues, Africa will look like Djibouti, which has become contested space where every and any country with some military might has set camp. He cited the ruling Akufo-Addo administration signing of a military pact with the United States of America, giving privileges to their soldiers, than even ambassadors and high commissioners under the Geneva Convention, as an example, saying is beyond understanding for any self-respecting government in Africa to do that. Dash it away. My brother, my sister, our economic woes certainly should be coming from economic colonial meddling. Everybody, it's common knowledge. Hey, you have cocoa, we want it. Cocoa is nice. We are buying your cocoa. Oh, okay. We want you to legalize homosexuality. Say, oh no, our people don't. They don't like it, but they like our money. We pull back our money. Your economy starts to struggle. You will run back to us by way of blackmail. Economic blackmail. That's what it is. We buy all your gold. We become your trusted allies. When we also need you to push a certain agenda and you are not doing it, we pull out and you will suffer. We heard Nanado say, oh, economy is going to blossom soon. Trust me, all of a sudden, Baolaya has also come out. Hey, yes, economy is all because of America. They have signed a pact that will allow America to bring warheads into this country and so on and so forth. That is what is causing the war between Russia and which country? I've forgotten the country. Russia! My brother, my sister. Jesus. What country is it again? Ukraine! I've heard Ukraine so much. I have tried to unlearn all the lies. Russia, Ukraine. Why? Because America wants to establish a military base in Ukraine. Russia says, no, we will fight. They tried it during the reign of some of the presidents of Ghana. They said, no. Economic crunch has hit us. So if you want us to help you, let us put the military base there. And our people are... When we return... Hey!
Goose, Skipper George.
Blackpot, Coco Show, man.
This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. We don't do politics. What we do is called patriotism, rewiring the mindset of our people. Nkrumah said it. What did he say? The best way to fight corruption is to build a strong public opinion against it. God bless Nkrumah wherever he is. Next thing, farmers market justified. I've seen so many people condemn the farmers market. That, oh, this minister, Osei Akoto, his father was Osei Bafo Akoto. No, Bafo Yaw Akoto. We remember them for that. He's an agric minister now. He wants to be president. He doesn't want people to say he's failed. So he's going to bring farm produce to his ministry out there for people to come and buy. At first, people said they were so subsidized and that it will not be sustained. Now people are questioning if this thing is going to work. A Greek minister justifies oh my God. Anyway, the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Efriyakuto, has justified the setting up of the Planting for Food and Jobs (PFJ) satellite markets at the ministry in Accra. He alleged that although food prices were reasonably low in the producing areas, some market women and middlemen were taking undue advantage by making super normal profits at the expense of consumers and farmers. My brother, my sister, that's what he said. And it's interesting that he would say this. But look at it. The minister was responding to questions at a high-level ministerial panel discussion on adaptation and agriculture at the just-ended COP27 at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt, on the theme mobilizing innovative financing for building resilient and sustainable food systems on the African continent. The moderator sought to know why food prices in Ghana were the highest in the sub-region, even though the PFJ program seemed to be successful. Mr. Minister, why is it that with the success story of the program, food prices in Ghana remain the highest in the sub-region? The moderator of the program asked. Oh my God, what a cheeky question. To the question, Dr. Akoto alleged that the high prices of food items were not because of scarcity of food, but that it was because those individuals were focused on making supernormal profits. He said after a familiarization tour of some farming regions in the country and the interministerial meeting with some market queens and transporters, it was decided that we organize transportation to the farming communities to bring the food items to the urban areas to sell to civil servants and the general public. Dr. Akoto said within the 5 years of implementation of the PFJ program, the quantity of fertilizers supplied to beneficiaries had increased from 121 blah 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 to blah 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 blah. He said the government invested the equivalent of this amount of millions on subsidized fertilizer and seeds, adding that in nominal price the value of the output of investment in the PFJ over the 5 years is estimated at 8.6 billion. Dash it away. My brother, what he's saying could be true. Some Ghanaians are greedy. Some Ghanaians are wicked. My brother, but selling food at the premises of the agric ministry would not be enough. I was one of the first to moot this view. And I'm happy about that. When I mentioned it on radio, that if you say food is cheap, and we can't still get this cheap food, please produce it. Bring it to where we can come and buy that from. Show us where it is. The agric minister listened to me. He went and brought the food. But I asked for farmers markets. What you call satellite farmers market. Bring the food not only to your premises. It's not difficult to establish such markets all over the urban places where food is supposedly expensive. That's what is meant by farmers market. Advertise that. Let people go there. And economics, basic economics will tell you that if people have a place where they can go and buy food cheaply, it will affect the prices naturally. True? So that those who sought to make so much money by squeezing the necks of buyers and consumers will fall apart. True? Please, don't only sell food at your premises. Open up farmers markets all over. By now, there should have been like 10 farmers markets in Accra alone. One in Tema, one in Kasua. You take one all the way. Hey, listen, that way you will feel the impact. But selling food at your premises is not enough. It's a step in the right direction. But you've been doing this for about 2 weeks now. By now, you should have expanded it. Dash it away. Let me deal with the last issue. I'm going away. Last story here is still about the army thing. It says UK army storms Ghana. Look at them. UK troops may go to Ghana in shift of strategy against terror. And this is Telegraph reporting all the way. It says Britain may be invited to send special forces to Ghana after it was forced to withdraw all of its 300 peacekeepers from Mali in the face of bans of Russian mercenaries and jihadist groups. The Telegraph has reported. British ministers will this week fly to Ghana to hammer out a new security agreement. It is unclear if the move is a face-saving operation in the wake of the mission in Mali being shut down, or something more significant as British forces already trained troops in Ghana. 3 years ago, Britain announced a major pivot to the jihadist-stricken Sahel region on Europe's southern flank. To great fanfare at home, new embassies were opened. Hundreds of millions of pounds were promised in humanitarian and military aid. And 300 crack troops were sent deep into Mali to scout for gunmen allied to Islamic State and Al-Qaeda. Touchdown. So Britain has been forced out of Mali. And boom, Burkina is also asking for France to leave. Africa wants to take hold and responsibility of wherever. Look at the terrorism levels in Mali. Timbuktu became a worse war zone. Right now they are coming here. Already they are training soldiers here. Are they going to open up a military base? Yes. To fight terrorism. Is that what the Minister of National Security said? Oh, now, you know, we are able to fight terrorism. We are able to blah, blah, blah. We are ready. Is it because the British people are coming here? Or maybe the Americans will also join? Let us look at the consequences of some of these things. Now, when Britain comes here, enemies of Britain will become our enemies too. We don't have the might of Britain. Britain is not going to bring all its might to Ghana. Enemies of Britain will become our inherited enemies. Are we ready for that? Are we ready? Now remember that when you allow military bases, they do not necessarily strengthen you. They weaken your intelligence as well. What is it in this country that they will not see And what is it that they will not report to their bases? Can Ghana go and establish a military base in England? Will it be allowed? They don't play with their intelligence. I've not seen one African country open a military base anywhere in Europe or America. But every time they are here. I want to understand. What's the problem? Hey, look at how the embassies operate. WikiLeaks came and taught us, opened our eyes to some of these things. You meet an ambassador and you think you are just having a mere conversation. He's recording you in his head. The moment he leaves you, he's writing it down. He will send to the mother country. Oh, I met Lenche Lenche, and this was what Lenche Lenche said. Oh, I met Jeff, and Jeff said this about this. Even Kwesi Pratt himself fell victim to some of these things. He met an ambassador allegedly, and WikiLeaks reported that he said that Nana Akufo-Addo, if you go to him early in the morning, you don't need to ask where he is. Just look for where the smoke is coming from. It's like a bonfire. He's there smoking heavily. It's not Bonto, he's smoking Tampil. Kwesi Pratt was asked if he said it. He said, I will not answer this. Go and ask WikiLeaks. He didn't deny it and he didn't affirm it. This is how the embassies work. Private conversations. Boom. Read WikiLeaks. How they gather information. This embassy, now they are bringing a whole military base here. They have access to. Please, don't see me as an enemy. Are we truly independent? I'll leave it here. My name is Blakk RASTA. I want to say thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. This has been the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. Hey! Power!